Hey, what is going on, everybody?
Welcome back to another week of JSNB
Talk.
We
We
are
are the podcast
that
puts
what
what did I say?
Shoot.
We put the gag
in
in mortgage.
Am I right?
Because we are all three homeowners, and let's be real,
paying your mortgage payment every month
makes you gag a little bit.
Not anymore for me, but that is true.
Oh,
Oh, you lucky dog.
Yep.
Excellent,
You
Brian.
lucky dog.
Good
Good
pay
for
off your
you.
house.
Yeah.
Paid
Paid
off
off the house.
That's why I have the big blue beast.
The big blue beast. And all those toys down in the basement.
What's the
That is
big blue beast?
My F-250 Tremor.
Oh, very nice, Brian. You have no mortgage payment anymore. That's excellent.
I do not. We have not. It's been
Excellent.
4 years. I think. No, maybe only
So it's-
3.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, good for you and Mary.
Thank
Excellent.
you. Thank you, Jared. You're
Yep.
just starting into this whole thing, right?
Excellent.
Echoing.
You're just starting into this whole thing, right?
Yep. Bought my first one in
Jared, you're
Yep.
just starting into this whole thing,
August. Excellent.
right? Wow.
What's that? Yep. So
Wow.
that was
So did
That was-
you go with
that
a
was some good
30-year
times.
mortgage or
Kyle's
Kyle's it still echoing?
it was 30, but
Okay. All right.
actively trying to pay it off like it's 15.
Yeah.
I will be leaving
Right.
August that one in a couple years.
Only my mic, Kyle.
Are you moving back to Florida or California?
No, but I'll be buying another one and then renting that one.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Smart man. I wish I would have done that.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to be Byron, you can only do so much,
That is true. And
Don't be-
especially when you have kids and all kinds of fun stuff. So.
Yep. Don't be afraid to fail. I gotta wait till the timing's right. Because the
Yeah.
timing's never right. You just have to go ahead and do it.
You
You
just
just
gotta
gotta
do
do it.
You just
That
gotta
is
do it.
true.
Simple as that. So
That's what it's about.
to all of our active listeners, right there.
I
just
see
gotta
we
go
got
ahead and
quite a
do
few
it.
already.
Yeah,
We got six people in here. It says
they're
they're
saying
saying
already.
they're saying some people's mics are muting or are not muting. They're echoing. So I'm trying to figure that out. Trying to
Echo.
A50 voice. A50 voice.
Is
Is that still happening, guys?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know.
Our stand man
Is that still happening, guys?
is struggling tonight for some reason.
I don't know why it does this because it is literally set up like it always is.
Kyle Stewart says, "Yep."
What does that mean?
Let me know if is it still happening, guys? I just made one change. Let me know if it's still happening. Actually, I can probably unmute this and see. Let me know if is it still happening, guys? I just made one change. Let me know if it's still happening. I think that fixed it. I think it is fixed.
Ay.
No, it's
So-
good. Perfect.
So Grammy says I'm her. I don't know
I'm
what
her.
that
I don't know who she is.
says. Grammy, I'm her. Okay. You be
She's her.
Grammy.
You can be her. It's 2020, 2024. You can be her. You can be him. You can be whoever you want to be. There's no rules.
What it's about. Yeah.
Whatever your truth is.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Well, all truth is God's truth, so
that's true. That's true because he doesn't care what
That
your
is
truth
true.
is, right? He cares what the truth is, and that's what we
Yep.
should all care about, the truth.
Yep. That's right.
So perfect. So
Waldo.
I have an interesting question tonight for everybody in the chat, as well as for Baldo and for Jared. I've had quite the experiences with interactions with some coworkers over the last couple of years. Some thoughts and some opinions of things, and so I just wanted to ask you guys and people in the chat, what are some of the wildest, craziest conspiracy theories that you guys have heard, or maybe you even believe? What are some of the? This is a judgment-free zone, so feel free to.
It absolutely is not.
It's not. We will judge you, and if you say something, we will make fun of you, probably because you probably deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
But what are some of those things? Have you guys heard anything? Have you ever had any conversations with anybody where you're like, what in the world just happened?
I think, I've had people talk about, obviously, life on other planets or outer space, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Where do you
where do I stand?
Yeah, where do you stand on that?
I don't know. I mean, to me, there's no actual proof of life other than ours here. I mean, so I would say I'm probably leaning towards no. But they always talk about, what is it, Area 51? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Area 51.
Again, you can't tell me that stuff exists and there hasn't been some kind of leak or
not one single leak
or whatever. So
not one single hole in the bucket. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like that's actually going to happen in this day and age. So
right.
with the technology we have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brian, what if I were to tell you that there were some aliens sighted in a mall in Florida last week?
Well, there are some people out there that look like aliens, but
Well, these aliens, they were on their way to Antarctica, but they put in the wrong latitude and longitude coordinates, so it beamed them right on down into the middle of a shopping mall in Florida.
Okay, are these illegal aliens?
No, these are like from
these would be extraterrestrial.
Extraterrestrial aliens.
So pictures, dude.
Well, there's a couple pictures of some shadows. Is that good enough for you?
No.
Because if the internet has pictures of some shadows and says they're aliens, obviously they're aliens.
So, supposedly there's pictures of Bigfoot too, but
Ooh, that's a good one.
I've seen that. I've seen that one. I have seen that
Bigfoot?
one, Byron. No, I've not seen Bigfoot. I've seen the videos saying, "Hey, this is Bigfoot." I have seen those videos, Byron, and I'm not gonna lie. I am overly convinced because those videos don't lie.
Well, anytime the internet says something is true, it must be true.
And the reason that the aliens, the two shadows that are aliens, appeared at the mall, and why so many cop cars rolled up, is because they needed to stop. One, they were hungry, and two, they probably needed to get some sneakers. Because they had a long journey, so they stopped. I'm trying to be serious because that's true, but they needed.
Who knows how long of a journey they had?
So they were beamed to the mall, and rightfully so. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna pay for them, so let's go get some sneakers." And then everyone freaked out because they saw aliens, and that's why all the cop cars were called.
Well,
they wanted some Jordans.
So what you're telling me, though, Jared, is according to Aaron's report, is that they were mistakenly beamed to that. They were supposed to go to the South Pole, but they were mistakenly beamed to a mall.
I've heard they were mistakenly beamed too. I've heard also that they were purposefully beamed so they get something to eat and also get some sneakers.
And how reliable are your sources, Jared?
They're pretty reliable because I saw those videos via TikTok that were on Facebook, so I feel pretty confident in believing that.
And so, why does your mom believe that this is true?
My mom doesn't believe this is true. No. This is just this is just some videos that were taken, and I was like, ooh, that's pretty convincing that these aliens needed to fill their bellies, I guess.
Well, because think about it. If you're in a spaceship and you're traveling, say light years away, right? That could take a long time. So the only exercise you get is on your treadmill in your spaceship. And if you run on your treadmill for a long time, well, you're gonna run right through your shoes. So you need to get some new shoes.
Do these aliens wear clothes? Do they have clothes?
We only saw the shadows.
I only saw the shadows.
Right.
Okay.
So this was a report that was out last week.
I don't know why those shadows would need to stop in who knows? Who knows? I'm just assuming that they needed some sneakers. That's just me personally.
Maybe they were looking for a McRib sandwich to get too. So
they might have been looking for that McRib, that banging McRib. Was their sneakers the shadows? I don't think so, which is why they needed to get them so they could blend in.
Because their sneakers were already broken.
They're sneakerheads.
So they wanted Jordans, and they don't have those on their home planet, and they wanted a McRib. So
what did you think about that video, Byron?
I didn't see the video.
Oh, you've never even seen the video?
He's learning about it right now.
Stewie, go ahead and pull that up for him.
Oh, man, I got to try to find it.
Are my lone source for this.
You've been living under a rock, Byron, because this happened like in January, I think. Didn't it? Yeah, it did.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. Video showing alien at Miami Mall sparks claims of invasion. That's the first thing that comes up when you Google it. Oh, man, what a time to be alive.
Sparks claims of invasion.
So nobody saw any spaceship?
Nope. It was just two shadows. No.
Okay.
Well, so this one doesn't have a video, but it says... the police were trying to handle shadow aliens, in quotes, that were 2.4 meters to 3 meters in height.
How big is that?
I don't know because I don't use that metric system.
Meters to feet. 2 meters. 2 meters is 6.5 feet.
Wow.
So we're talking, we got some Goliath-size aliens up in the shopping mall in Miami.
I'm only 4 inches away from 6.5 feet, Byron. So that's pretty substantially larger than me.
They're gonna have to have Shaq's shoes in order to.
Yeah. Screw Jordans. Oh, here's an. Actually, they did get a picture of one. Hold on. Let me share my screen here. Screen share. Go ahead and pop that over. There he is.
And
there he is. He's at the shopping. He's at the shopping mall. He was given some bags. He got some new boots, a hat. New jacket. That's perfect.
It was Bigfoot, Mimi says.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh, man, I don't know if it was Bigfoot.
Oh, man. Guys.
Just know that, Byron, where have you been living? Well, actually, this was probably close to when Nick was having his baby. That might have been a little distracting.
Like Michael Jackson right there.
Yeah.
I think it's Michael Jackson.
So it's really fun to, talk about this stuff. It's funny. But you know what's really alarming is, there's people that actually believe this stuff. It's it's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, it's believable.
So
it's not.
You guys have
if you're stupid, it's believable.
No judgment now, Jared.
No judgment. Well, no, Jared did say we were going to judge people. Okay. He was very out with that.
Yep, we are going to judge people.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Byron.
I was gonna say, so Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, the Abominable Snowman, it's all
Megalodon.
Yeah, him too.
The Meg. Jaws.
Just ask Jason and he'll save you.
Who freaking knows?
So Stu, so you we're talking about other myths, like flat Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a big one that I've heard a lot.
Everybody who believes in flat Earth in the chat, go ahead and type 1. We'll see how many of you are out there.
Put a hand emoji, because if you do, we're gonna make fun of you a little bit. But yeah, that's a big one that I've heard. So where I work,
multiple times,
I have had 2 separate interactions where people have spoken to me about this, and they are 100% they believe it. They don't just believe it; they know it, and they're telling me that I've been lied to my entire life. And 2 different people.
Okay.
Yep. Just super, super, super crazy. Because they pull up these sources, and it's are you kidding me right now? I think the one time the guy who was showing me, he pulled up. I think it was on Telegram, and his source was big booty girl or something like that. And I'm like, come on, bro. Stop.
There's another myth, right? No.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, I've heard flat Earth just as recently as yesterday. The same person said that Elon Musk exists outside of like this like a wall. Essentially, we live in a snow globe, flat Earth, and then there's this wall around us. And Elon Musk exists outside of this wall.
So this guy, so is this guy being serious?
No, he's dead serious. Dead serious. Yep.
Dead serious.
Hey,
yep.
Dead ass serious, Byron. All right, okay, you understand?
Jeez. Okay.
Like,
well,
serious.
He took that to the next level. So, but yeah, yeah. So he said that
It's there
Elon Musk is out there and he's controlling all of us inside this wall. We are his workers, and he needs us to just build his empire, I guess.
So I would say, so what was the movie? You guys remember the movie that was basically somebody was outside the globe controlling everything, or
I don't remember that movie.
You don't remember the movie or the TV show?
No.
I can't remember the show. There was a TV show. Let me see if I can find it.
Tag this Nimrod in the chat. I'll tag him.
You go right ahead. Actually, Jared would be unable to tag this person in the chat because he doesn't know who this person is, but the other person he would know.
Oh yeah. That's right. Well, you did. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh
yeah. What else?
Under the Dome tells the story.
Bro, that's essentially what he's saying. This is.
It says it tells the story of the residents of this fictional small town of Chester's Mills, when a massive, transparent, and indestructible dome suddenly cuts them off from the rest of the world.
That's literally his life. That's what he thinks.
Okay.
So yeah, he said that we are unable to get outside of this wall. That the only person who ever was able to get out there was Elon Musk, and now he's out there and he's controlling everything. What else was it? Well, there was another person who said that the moon was only 75 miles away. That one was really fun. Trying to think. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it was like a big this one yesterday was like a 30-40 minute conversation in my office, and finally I was like, bro, you gotta get back to work.
If it's only 75 miles away, then wouldn't the tides be a little...
Well, that's probably fictional too. That probably is not real.
Yeah, Jared, the moon has nothing to do with the tides, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
What's up with that?
You might be right.
Come on, stay with us. Stay with us here, Jared.
Another fiction? You want to hear another fiction? Another conspiracy theorist?
I like it. What do we got?
LeBron is the GOAT.
Yeah, except for that's truth.
Well, that's definitely a conspiracy, all right.
Fact. That's not conspiracy theory. That's a factoid.
Oh,
you can cash it, take it to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it was just...
It baffles me how people can look at that and say that that's what the case is, because it's so I mean, so then gravity, is gravity not a thing?
Oh yeah, that was another thing. So to go with gravity, that just reminded me of one of the other things he said. So he was like, do you honestly believe, Aaron, that we are on a giant sphere that is spinning like thousands of miles per hour, right? Spinning fast. And that sphere is also revolving around another sphere at thousands of miles per hour. And you honestly think that we're able to stand up and not fall over?
I mean, it only makes sense. So then what? So when you walk to the edge of the flat Earth, you fall off?
No, because there's a wall around it.
There's a wall to protect us.
There's a wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a big wall. That's like what I said. So we live in a snow globe. So when it snows, that's not weather. That's just Elon Musk picking us up off the shelf and doing this. And then it snows.
Why do we not get the dome?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, and that was another one.
I don't know why he's beefing with Elon. I'm starting to think he doesn't like him.
When we shoot missiles into the sky.
Yeah.
They go up and then they hit the wall, and then they just go. And I was like, so why are we shooting missiles into the sky then? Like, what's the purpose of shooting the missiles into the sky if they just... No answer. I don't know. I don't know.
How old is this guy?
He's probably 30.
Oh, really?
Who built the snow globe? Elon?
Probably Elon.
So I'm wondering how good is the stuff that he's smoking? Just like,
Oh man, well,
it's got to be pretty good.
He is smoking some big old California reefy reef.
Big old California reefy reef.
The big old
he yeah, I don't know. We've never been to space, is what he said.
Wow.
Nobody's ever been to space. The photos of the moon were fabricated. Because he's like Aaron
was really funny.
He's like, Aaron, if you look at it, the flag is blowing in the wind. There's no wind on the moon. He's like, it's fabricated. It's not real. I'm like, I don't know. I've never been to the moon, so I don't know if there's like, I don't know.
So do you guys have things like this that you believe in? So I mean,
no.
Are we all on the same page?
Pretty sure we're all on the same page. Well, actually, Jared might be a little bit conspiracy theory-esque.
Yeah, well, now when we had our discussion the other week about like the Live Tour and all these guys, Jared was getting a little conspiracy theorist there.
Yep, he was.
Was I?
Yep, it was almost.
Boy. Well, here's the thing, Baldo. I just don't believe whatever's put in front of my face. Right.
Well, so I don't either.
I have to be like, you know, I tend to not, or at least not want to be brainwashed. So, and I know there's some people out there that'll be like, wait a second, Jared, you can't be brainwashed. That means you're a conspiracy theorist. No. Definitely
I never said that. I did not
say
that. I said you had a little bit of conspiracy theorist philosophy when it came to sports in general.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sports.
What do you think,
sports in general, maybe.
What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah. There was definitely some conspiracy theory-esque things.
Conspiracy theorist-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because when we were talking about PGA Tour and how, you know, golfers don't play to their potential and things like that, this is starting to sound a little bit conspiracy theory-esque a little bit, you know.
Super Bowl was rigged.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jared was ripping the Reefy Reef right before he came, the California Reefy Reef right before he got on the live that time. I don't know.
I could have been. Who knows?
Although he did say that it wasn't Tiger Woods.
Been.
So what do you think, Jared? Yeah, I mean,
I think the world is round. That's what I think.
That's a good first step.
Okay. So do you think golf?
What do you think,
rigged?
Byron?
Do you think golf is rigged?
I think so.
No.
I don't think golf is rigged.
He has changed his tune, ladies and gentlemen. The tide has turned. The moon got closer to the earth, and it changed the tide.
We'll see. It's funny because I never said, "Oh yeah, golf is." I said there are some. Can you go ahead and pull up the clip when I said that golf is?
Roll the tape, Jared.
So you didn't say those exact words. You didn't say those exact words that golf is rigged. But what you did say is that golfers will purposely play bad for certain reasons, and that in turn would mean that it is rigged.
I said I believe some.
Right. So that would mean that to a point, golf is rigged. I think that's all Baldo's implying.
Oh, you are right. You are right because I did say there are some instances to a point. So you got to be careful with your words, Baldo. Otherwise, people like you and Stewie, you know, they'll just say, "Oh, Jared, believe." Ooh, well, let's take it easy here, guys. Never said that as a whole. I said some instances.
So, well,
be careful with your words,
if I remember correctly, though, you implied that basically all sports had some form of control because of money.
That's a fair statement.
I don't think it's clean cut. No.
You don't think it's? What do you mean you don't think it's clean? You don't think it's like what's not clean cut?
Like you don't think it's like just one team versus one team and the best team wins?
No.
You think it's just like there's other factors at play?
I think there's other factors. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, so if
Absolutely.
that's the case, if that's your stance, how do you quantify that? What do you call that? If it's not conspiracy,
what do I call that?
Yeah. What kind of philosophy would that be?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Not judging. Just trying to clarify.
Jared did say we could judge.
I did say that.
I don't want to judge Jared.
I don't want to judge Jared either.
I wish you would.
No.
Although I am the judge, jury, and the executioner.
I wish you would. I really do.
It's not fair, Jared. It's not fair to judge.
Oh, I think it is.
So okay, so
I don't know. I don't really know what you would what you'd call that.
I think I would call it a conspiracy theory.
Oh, is that what you would call it?
Because it is a theory, and it is a theory where things are being conspired.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it checks out.
Definitely.
It fits the definition for sure.
It's possible.
If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck,
it's possible.
It's probably a goose.
Yeah.
So we learned tonight that Jared is indeed a conspiracy theorist.
I guess we did. I guess we did learn that tonight.
Oh man.
There's simply nothing I can do about it.
I would venture to say, to be 100% honest, that we all have conspiracies that we believe are true, whether we have facts on them or not. So, you know, I mean, I just think that's human nature, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd have to think through that, but you're probably right.
You're
probably right.
What'd you say, Jared?
That's probably human natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
Human natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I mean, it probably is. You know.
Some of them are just crazy. I mean, you know, flat Earth and living in a dome, and you know,
living in a dome.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you were talking, Brian, about the Area 51. It's like some of this stuff that's like so far out there. If it was really,
thinks the Phillies are going to win a World Series. Well, yeah, that's kind of a.
Kyle's just a hater because the Braves can't get past the Phillies, so it's fine. It's fine, Kyle. Maybe one.
Come on, Kyle.
Come
on, Kyle. I mean, they can't seem to get past the Phillies.
But you have, like, Jared and I were talking about this a little bit before the stream. Like something is as complex. Something is like, because we're not talking about like a company that's telling their people that the Earth is flat, right? We're talking about the entire world. So the amount of people that would have to be involved in this lie that the Earth is round and not flat, like with all the people involved, at some point, like somebody's getting upset or offended or something, and they're blowing the whistle on the thing.
Right.
Something is going to come out that like somehow something is going to blow this up.
If these stupid people out there knew anything about, there's a thing called the law of averages. I would be hard pressed for that not to just kind of cut right through their theory that the Earth is flat.
Well,
because the law of averages would kind of be like, nope.
Yeah, my whole thing is it's like Aaron was saying earlier. You know, show me the proof. You know, show me the proof. Again, I mean, you know, we've been around for, you know, thousands of years, and you're telling me that nobody has any kind of, you know, skeleton or skull or whatever. You know, I mean, I've heard theories that, you know, dinosaurs didn't exist too. You know, but I'm like, that at least you have, you know, fossils and all that kind of stuff. So
if the Earth is flat, then why do oceans go into shore, flow back out? Why don't they just constantly flow that way?
Or why aren't they just still?
Or why aren't they just still? You know.
Yeah.
Well, and so my other question that comes with some of these conspiracy theories are like, so not only show me proof, but like, why are they lying to me? Okay, so I don't even need like, okay, proof is fine, but what reason does the world, do these leaders, does Elon Musk have to try to get me to believe why are they lying to me then and telling me that the earth is round if it's flat? What do they stand to gain from that lie? And I've asked people like that believe that, and like nobody can ever tell you anything. And like, but it's just like the truth. Like, why? Okay, so why am I being lied to? Like, give me something substantial, like something to grasp. Like, well, they stand to gain this. So, for instance, and I use this as I think I was talking to Jared. There are people that believe that 9/11. Actually, I think it was my wife. There are people that believe that 9/11 was an inside job. Okay, that it was done by the United States government. So obviously I don't believe that, but you could make the argument that like, okay, so they did this because the United States, stood to gain this, that. Like you could make the argument that there was a reason for it, right? That the government stood to gain from the war profits and stuff like that, and the oil, and you can make the argument and you can give a reason for it. But like flat Earth and the moon being 75, like what are we talking about here? Why are we talking about that?
It's a great point.
And nobody can ever give a reason to that.
I think that some
it's
of
the problem.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
The things like the Loch Ness monster and Bigfoot, there's financial gain in those.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Some of the stuff that's out there, that I go down the road and I'll see cutouts of Bigfoot. I was over at a nursery over here in Mechanicsburg, and they've got it's probably, I don't know, 7 foot tall, like stone Bigfoot, and so I'm like, oh, it just doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yep, we it's this is the world we live in. And
have you guys ever watched the series called 24? Yeah, Jared, have you ever seen it?
You bet your sweet chickens I have.
So that is filled with nothing but conspiracy theory. We're
Great
watching
show.
it. Mary and I are watching it right now. I think we're at the end of season 2, so we got a lot left to do.
But you've seen it before, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No. This is the first time. So it's it's a good show.
Great
but I'm
show.
looking at it thinking it's nothing but conspiracy. The whole 9 yards. So
what?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Perfect.
So
like what?
Like what? Like
careful spoiler alerts. Actually, if they haven't seen
it, that's okay. Go ahead and spoil it for me.
If they haven't seen it now, they don't want to see it.
Go ahead and spoil it for me.
So like right now we're coming into this end of season 2, and so the theory behind this show is that it's called 24, and it goes through 24 hours in one day. So like the first season was just one day. So they're hour-long episodes, obviously. And anyway, so the second season, we're coming to the end of it, because there was a nuclear bomb that was planted by somebody, and there's inside information as far as the cabinet and all these people in the president's offices that believe that there were 3 countries that did it. And so they've ousted the president and done all kinds of stuff. So they're in the midst of attempting to bomb these countries. And the president's saying, well, what if they're innocent? And, there's no proof, so they think, well, that's what it is. But it's all conspiracy. It's like, what do these guys have to gain? And come to find out, that there's another conspiracy out there that they believe that there's one guy that's behind it, and when that those countries get bombed, that the prices on his oil will go up, and so that's what's going on. So I think we have two left of second season. So we're getting
Boom.
down to the end.
You just walked me through season 2, and I forgot how great that season was. Just so you know, going forward, season 3 is good. Season 4, boom. 2 thumbs up, 5 stars. Season 4 is so good.
Dude, you didn't have thumbs up. You had the okay sign. Come on.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
There you go.
How do you do a star?
Siskel and Ebert.
5 stars. I don't know.
Yeah, me
5
either.
stars.
So, anyway. So, I mean, that's when you look at a lot of these shows, that's what a lot of the shows are built around is conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So, right up your alley, Jared.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. Jared is such a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. Can't you tell?
To his core.
Right down to the very fiber of my being.
Bet your sweet bippy. And that's why he hasn't told his parents about this pod yet, because he doesn't want them to know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jared.
We love you, Jared. We love you. Well, speaking of conspiracy theories, this actually has nothing to do with conspiracy theories at all. So as I was driving yesterday, I heard on the radio, this is just something funny they were talking about, and I was like, oh, this will be cool to talk about too. So I think it started with food, but then it just kind of evolved. And so I'm not going to give any like hard rules or anything like that. It can go wherever this ends up going. The question was, what is your weakness? And so I think people took it as like, initially, like they started listing off all these foods that they like can't say no to, right? Like, oh, queso is my weakness. I can't say no to queso. I eat queso all the time, chips and queso. Jared's one of those people. Loves himself some chips con queso from Chipotle. Am I right? Yep. Wow, he's not being very talkative. But so I got thinking. I was like, okay, so actually, I think maybe they didn't use the word weakness. They said kryptonite. I don't know. But anyway, so I was thinking, I was like, oh, that'd be cool to talk about. So like for us, what are some things that are weaknesses? What are things you can't say no to? Whether it be food or like Brian, you're a father, right? So like when your kids were young, right? And little Michaela, she was like 3 years old, and she came up and asked you, Daddy, can I have candy? Like, did you always just cave because it was hard to say no because she was so adorable? I don't know. What are some things that you just can't say no to? I'll go first. Chick-fil-A. Can't. Never can. Nope. So, I'll eat it every of the time.
So along those lines, Aaron, I keep calling you Jared.
You call me Jared and you call me Kyle all the time. It's like I don't exist and I am literally just somebody else.
Sorry, man.
Gosh.
So I think deep down you're really somebody else. So I have a conspiracy theory. Never mind. So speaking of Chick-fil-A, how many points are on your account?
48,000.
Oh, it's more than that. It's more than that. Wait till it loads. Oh, I have a free chicken sandwich, courtesy of my feedback. 57,891.
That was close.
Yep.
Wow.
Perfect. What a time to be alive, am I right? So tell me that I can say no to Chick-fil-A. I can't. I can't say no. I won't. If I'm at work and somebody's like, hey, does anybody want Chick-fil-A for lunch? You betcha I do. Well, Aaron, you already have lunch in the refrigerator over there. You can just warm it up in the microwave. No, I'll eat that tomorrow. I want Chick-fil-A now.
So let's say Jared, did it again. Let's say, Aaron, that you have just eaten your lunch.
I'll go get that chicken sandwich and I'll slap that bad boy in the refrigerator for a little bit later.
Oh, you'll do that. You won't eat it right then and there.
I mean, it depends. It depends. Like if I can still eat, I'll eat it.
Wow.
But if I'm like full, I'll get one and I'll just eat it later.
She can't say no to ketchup sandwiches. Oh my gosh.
So Alexa says, "Oh, Grammy, stop." Alexa says chocolate and iced coffee. That is a fair statement. Kyle, scratch pizza. What does that mean? Scratch pizza? Is that like a certain?
He said pizza. He said scratch it. We're having Chick-fil-A tomorrow.
Oh, scratch.
Oh! You mean for tomorrow? For I gotcha. Because Kyle's coming over here tomorrow for Keystone Live, so he said scratch pizza. We're having Chick-fil-A tomorrow.
Gotcha. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? Is scratch pizza like a thing? I don't know what that is, so I gotcha. I'm with you.
So, I would say my. I don't know if I have anything. I mean, I mean.
What about a ho-ho wrapped in American cheese?
I can say no to it. I mean, I mean, I can say no to. I mean, there's nothing that I have to absolutely have. So.
Okay,
I mean,
so maybe not something that you absolutely have to have, but what's something that like it'll. So if somebody were to ask you, you would more than likely indulge.
So pastries.
Pastries. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Like Little Debbie's and Hostess. Ho-hos.
Some Swiss cake rolls.
Yeah, some Swiss cake rolls.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yes. What I've been eating lately is the what the heck they call it? The little brown squares. Coffee cake.
Coffee cakes.
Yeah, I've been hammering those. So, but
we got some good ones in here.
It has to do with food. I can honestly say that there's times that I've made decisions to add something to the collection that probably.
Hopefully Mary's not in here.
No, she knows.
She knows. She's a part of this.
Yes. So, but it's I don't know. What do you think, Jared?
Jared, you got anything?
I
thought this would be a tough one for Jared.
I kind of pride myself on saying no.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'll attest to that. Like, so I tell Jared all the time, like, he's one of the most like self-disciplined.
Stop! I'm gonna blush.
Oh yeah, Alexa said the gym. That's good. That's a good one for Jared because Jared will 100% like.
Oh,
he'll go to the gym.
Yeah, she's not.
And like
she's not wrong.
Yeah, he'll pass on like anything. He's got to get his 6 days in.
I got something for Jared.
What's that?
Go ahead.
OT.
Oh, overtime. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
The gym and overtime.
Jared has skipped the pod for overtime.
That's true. His priorities are in line.
Yeah.
Mike Ferry's here. He says Jared can't say no to OT. There you go.
Yeah.
That's coming from the boss, from the big boss.
Yeah. You're right, Mike Ferry. Yeah, you're right.
We'll scroll back here real quick. So my mom threw in pizza, stromboli, and iced coffee. I'm not a coffee guy at all, but I don't iced coffee. But pizza and stromboli, especially Mom. I think you and I are thinking the same thing from the same place. Jim and Nina's. I won't say no to Jim and Nina's either. If I know like a family member is going to Jim and Nina's, I will 100% tack something onto that order. Again, even if I've already eaten. And
Jared, can you say no to golf? Do you say no to golf? Yeah.
Go ahead, Jared. Answer that question, and then I'll refute you every time.
Yes. I guess Stu says that I can say no to golf, so I guess I can.
He has told me no many a time.
Really?
Yeah, well, like, hey, dude, let's go play 18 holes, and he'll be like, no, I want to go sit on the couch and watch a movie.
Because I want to work.
Man,
I want to work.
Yeah, now he's making me sound. No, Byron. It's more like, hey, we just spent $45 playing golf yesterday. Let's go do it again today. And I'm kind of like, I want to. Like, believe me, Stewie, I want to, but it's kind of like, I don't know. And then like that day will happen, right? hey, that was really fun. Let's go do it again. Geez, dude, like I don't have an endless wall yet.
He does.
Whereas so it's kind of like, I don't know, I struggle with that, Byron. So yes, yeah. Eventually, I kind of have to say no to golf. And what I will say, Byron, I will say absolutely, Stewie. Let's go practice our short game golf.
Because you don't care how far you can hit it.
And Stewie's like, nah, I want to go. I want to go play. And I'm like, no.
So, Jared, do you work on your short game? You like
absolutely? Oh
so
my goodness, absolutely.
Whoa, hold on. He doesn't now. He used to. I hear all the time. And look, hold on. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that to insult Jared.
Stewie's
no,
right in there.
stop.
Like, no,
I'm not saying that to insult Jared.
Don't work on your short game, Jared.
I have been encouraging Jared.
Clear to the pod. You don't work on your short game.
I have. So all I hear from Jared.
All
I hear from Jared all the time is if I could just get my short game back to where it was, back in 20 whenever. Oh man, I would be so good and blah blah blah. So I've been telling him like, hey, you need to get on it. No, not lying. But I've been telling him like, okay, well, what are you doing? Like, go work on it, so that way we can both quit our jobs. You can go to the PGA Tour. I'll be your caddy. We'll make so much money. We'll be so funny. All the cameras will be on us all the time. But he hasn't gone and worked on his short game like he needs to. So I'm a little bitter about it because it's costing me money.
So how do you work on your short game?
Costing him money.
How do
you work on your short game? You work on it.
But how? I mean, do you go in the backyard and hit, 10-foot shots?
No,
what do you do?
No. It's you just roll up to a golf course. You grab a few golf balls, throw them down on the putting green, and you work on your putting. Or you roll up to a golf course and you grab a few golf balls, you grab a few golf balls, and you throw them to the side of the green, and you practice your chipping.
All right.
Or if some golf courses have the practice bunkers, throw them in the practice bunker, and you practice your bunker shot. You wouldn't believe. I'm making this up. You wouldn't believe, Byron, but man, oh man, oh man. One of the things I used to do when I was a junior golfer is, and at that time, if I bought a basket of range balls, 50 of them, Stewie, at that time it would cost me like 50 cents because
I was gonna say like $1.
They would give juniors a discount, but it was still cheap. But anyway, I would buy that, and then I would throw it down on the side of the green, and I would chip to this hole or that hole or whatever. It was funny because there was some people that I used to compete with at the time that was like, nah, man, I don't want to use range balls, right? Because their feel is different than the ball that I play with. And I'm like, okay. And then I would just do that. I was like, that's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, right? Because you're just you're feeling it. I'm a big feel player. And a lot of players are, field players. So I'm just like, I don't need to be like, oh man, I play with a Titleist Pro V1X, so that's the only thing I can chip and putt with because
it feels different. Yep.
No, well, yeah, it feels different, but it doesn't really make a difference.
Well,
if you're just trying to be like, hey, I'm gonna chip to this hole. I might not get it to 4 inches. If I use my Pro V, I get it to a different measurement.
I would say ridiculous. Most of that is about muscle memory and technique, and it doesn't. Your equipment matters, but it's more about what your body does.
Yep, absolutely. But it's like, oh no, I'm going to use 2 Pro V1s and chip to this hole, or I'm going to use 60 range balls and chip to 3 different holes. Right?
You get a bunch more practice with 60 balls.
You get a lot of practice and you get a lot of feel. Sure. And then obviously, if you're good enough, when you're out on the course or whatever, you'll be like, oh man, I can feel this chip shot, but I know that the Pro V1 is going to have a little bit of a different feel with this chip shot. It's really not that hard. It doesn't take that much time at all.
Sure.
to figure that out. But yeah, that was just one of the things. That's kind of how you practice your short game. You just go out there and you practice. It's funny. A lot of people, or some people that like me and Stu work with, oh, I wish I could hit it 330 yards every time. I told Stewie, and I'll
just said it today. I know exactly where he's going. He just said it.
I don't wish that I could hit it that far every time. I really don't. If I could hit it I would take 260 yards down the fairway every time. But if I could get my 150 yard in end game on point, I would take that hands down every time. Because who cares, right? If you hit it 330 yards, but you can't get up and down, then who cares, right?
Well,
but if I could hit it shorter, but I could get up and down every single time, oh my gosh!
Well, we all know what the saying is too, right? You know,
drive for show, putt for dough.
Putt for dough. That's right.
Yep. Your short game matters. Yes.
Short game all the time. It's funny. Yeah. So I had friends. Some of my friends, these weren't people that I competed with. These were people that was like kind of recreational, right? Friends that I was growing up. Oh man, let's go play golf. Okay, great. And it's funny because I used to joke around with them. I was like, bro, the long game's easy. It's all about the short game. Who cares, right? Like the long game. Who cares? It's easy. It's the short game. If you can't get up and down all the time, it doesn't matter, right? Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I told Stu this or whatever, but if your long game sucks, okay, but you can get up and down all the time, then you're going to be better than almost anyone that you're playing with.
I would say, Jared and Aaron, that my entire game is nothing but a short game. So, I mean, my short game is decent, but my long game sucks.
I noticed. Go ahead, Jared.
So I was like, if Stewie would just go out to the course and practice a short game with me, then who knows? I might be like, nice, Stewie. I see you practicing your short game. That gives me your short game. That gives me motivation to practice my short game, and eventually, right, go for the PGA Tour. But it's Stewie's
what do I need to practice my short game for if I'm just carrying your bag?
That would motivate me. That would motivate me to practice my short game and get on the tour, right?
I don't need to practice.
Stewie's really the one that's holding me back.
I don't need to practice my short game
really
if I'm just carrying your bag for you and telling you which club to hit.
No, you do, because you have to be my motivation to practice my short game. I'm not enough.
Oh, so you're saying that you can't motivate yourself? Are you a weak-minded individual?
I'm a weak-minded individual. I'm as weak as they come, and I need you.
Oh, that's nice. I guess.
Wow.
Kind of weird.
Okay.
Simple as that.
I will say real quick to put a exclamation mark or a period on this golf topic. So before Jared came out here came out to Pennsylvania in 2020, when I would go to the driving range, I would literally go and just take my driver. And when Jared came out and I saw what he was doing at the range, right, he would start with like his shortest club and then just work his way up to the driver, and he was getting a lot of practice in with like his wedges and stuff like that. And so I started doing that, and I started seeing my scores drop because I was getting more comfortable with hitting my wedges and my 9-iron, my 8, my 7. And now there's times where I go to the driving range where that's all I hit is my wedges and my short irons, and I'm down into like the low 80s, which has been
well, I would venture to say that is the philosophy behind just about anything that you do that takes muscle memory. I mean, not just sports, but like playing instrument, same thing. It all. It's what it's about. It's just it's about the details. It's about the minutia, if you will.
The finesse.
Yes.
Yep. Those parts that you just continuously refine more and more. Yep. And it's a beautiful thing, Byron.
I would venture to say that we all hate the minutia. We hate dealing with the details. If I was going out to for instance, I played softball for way too long. And
not long enough, by the way. We got an open spot on our roster for you this year.
Yeah, okay. But whenever we would practice, we wouldn't just hit. We'd take infield practice, we'd go over philosophy and game situations and all that kind of stuff. So it's the same thing,
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. So there, a lot of people that I grew up with and stuff, it was practice makes perfect, right? Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Like, and I think it was I forget who told me, but somebody later on, my golfing endeavors or whatever, was like, no, that's not true. Oh, really? What is that? He's like, because if you're practice, like if you have imperfect practice,
Yeah.
then it's not going to be practice makes perfect. No. If you're practicing perfectly, then yeah, that will make you perfect. But if you're out there practicing wrong, it's not going to make
right.
Well, and that was part of my problem too, Jared. I
So,
told you this before. Like before you
I
came
believe
out
that
here,
originally, but then later on, I'm like, it's wrong.
like before Jared came out here, I knew what I was doing was wrong because my ball wasn't going straight, but I didn't know what right was. And then Jared came out here and he was able to like coach me in different ways and show me some different things. And it's been very helpful, Jared. So I as well need you.
I'm there for you.
We need each other. And Baldo, we need you too.
We
need
you
too.
Credit where credit's due. So my coach when I was growing up that I had like for a little bit, it was funny because he was different than like other swing coaches, right? Because they would always be like, okay, well, do this and set up this way and blah 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 blah. It was funny because then it would annoy like the other junior golfers because they're like, bro, your coach doesn't ever like do anything to your swing or this and that. No, he doesn't, because he would just kind of sit there and watch me hit a bucket of balls. But every shot I hit, if it wasn't good or if it didn't go or I wanted it to go or whatever, it sliced it too much or whatever it was, he would ask me. He would just ask me questions. He'd be like, "Why did it do that?" And then I'd tell him. And then if me and him, if I was on the same page as he was, he'd be like, "That's right. You know how to fix it." Yeah, okay, we'll do that. But if I hit a shot and he's like, "Why'd you do that?" I don't know, or "Oh, I know why, but I don't know how to fix it." Then he would get more hands on. But it was all just like asking questions. Hey, do you know why you sliced it 40 yards to the right? Yeah. Do you know how to fix it? Yeah. Okay, do that. Right. Then I would. But it was very, very, very helpful because it's like if you're out on the course, right? It's only you. Like you're playing an individual sport. You have to know how to fix it on the fly. I'm not going to be there for you. Nobody else is going to be for it. It's like, oh man, I know why I hit that shot. Can you fix it on the fly? Yes, because you're trained or you're.
I think that's the philosophy that we all need to have whenever it comes to anything that we're doing. If I'm I can do things, like build stuff and all that kind of stuff, and I'm a hands-on person, so I can do that stuff. I'm mechanically inclined, but there's no way that I could take a motor apart and put it back together. I don't know enough about it. I don't know. I've never experienced it. So if like you said, Jared, if I see and say, okay, this spark plug is not sparking, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So that's where the coach comes in, but at the same time, he's going to say, okay, Brian, what do you think? What you need to come up with the answer. I know what the problem is and I know how to fix it, but if I allow you to take ownership of it and you to figure it out, then you're going to be a whole lot better off. And that's exactly what your coach did, It's exactly what your coach did. So that you take ownership of it and said, okay, this is what it is.
Right.
Well, it's funny that you say that now, Jared.
I do that right where you're probably about to say what I'm saying is that
I was just gonna say I noticed now. So having heard you say that, there's been many times where we're out golfing and I'll hit a shot and Jared will be like, "You know what you did?" And I'm like, well, there's times where I do and there's times where I don't, but Jared's taken that and implemented it over here. So
the teacher, or no, what is it? The student
becomes the teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Master Jared.
Master Jared.
But it's good because even like, cause I mean, I've known like, geez, I mean, ever since when I got here in beginning of 2020, and like we went golfing free the first few times, like big improvements, big improvements. Like I could definitely notice a difference the way Stu like swings his club now compared to before. It was funny too because he was all like, "Oh man, I want to hit it longer and farther. And I don't know how to swing that faster." This and that. And I was like, "Don't worry about that." I was like, "That'll come, right? Like it'll when you're when your balance and your rotation and everything like this it comes together a lot more than like it was before." He swings the club a lot faster than he used to.
So let me ask you guys something. In that case, so Aaron, I'm sure you've got things like that too, where just like in your job as a tank or as an HR guy, you know certain things that other people don't. And Jared, like with golf. So how does it make you guys feel when you try and give somebody advice and they either one don't take it or say, "Yeah, I know," and then don't do it? So what is
Ooh.
it? What's your mentality when it happens?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that it's really easy sometimes to get angry in those situations, and I probably do. But like, also at the same time, like, all I can do is offer you my help, right? I can't control what you do with my advice or knowledge or my experience, right? You're gonna process it and you're gonna do ultimately whatever it is. Um, that you want to do. So I think it's hard sometimes when you do give people everything they need and then they don't take it and they fail. Like watching them fail is like frustrating because it's like I've given you what you need.
Right.
But I also try not to like get fixated on that stuff because ultimately it's out of my control, right? I've done everything that I could do, and now balls in your balls in your
Court.
balls in your court. Yeah, I was like, well, I was about to say balls in your
Balls in your
pocket, and I
green.
was like, wait a minute, balls in your court. So
So how do you?
yeah, I don't know.
Have you ever had that happen, Jared?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Um.
how'd you handle
Oh
it?
yeah. Geez, that's a good question. Differently throughout my life, but I mean, but ever since so I kind of this actually, Stu, this had to do with my job at LUO. But when I was in my young to mid 20s, I adopted because I honestly I wasn't really I wasn't always an honest person. So like in my early to like mid 20s, I adopted the policy. I was like, you know what? I was like, screw this. I was like, honesty is the best policy, right? Truth is the truth. I was like, that just makes it very simple, always, right? Instead of like trying to juggle all this crap all the time, right? I was like, you know what? Let's just be honest, right? And let's just be truthful, right? And the truth hurts. I don't care, And so now it's kind of like if people do that or whatever, it's do I feel a little bit disrespected or this? Yeah, of course. And if people are making up this or that, it's like okay, great. But if you're just truthful and if you're honest most of the time, I'm good. I'm good. I just
So
the day
let's
the day goes on. I'm good.
let's say that I come to you guys and I ask for um, advice, and you give it to me, and I don't take it. I just go back to doing what I was doing. But I come back again and ask you for advice, and it keeps happening. How are you guys going to handle me? How are you guys going to handle this situation?
So I think that is, and maybe this is the wrong answer, but for me, I think it depends on who the person is, right? If it's somebody that I have like no investment with, right? Like no relationship. If it's like I think back to okay, so for a couple years I was a counselor. Me and my wife, before we were married, like we were partners, we were counselors, right? And there were some kids that are like young kids, right? And they would sit there in these sessions and they would listen and they would it seemed like they were taking it all in. And then next week you'd come back and they're like, "Oh yeah, I did it all over again and Oh, here we are, and it was frustrating. It was very frustrating, and it did get to the point where sometimes it was very difficult to sit there and continue to say the same things. But like the people that you're close to, so, um, obviously your family, your close friends, which like obviously consider, Jared and Baldo even, Baldo, you're like 50 years older than me, but you're still a close friend. And like Nick and some of the guys that I went to college with and stuff like that. Like those are the people where it doesn't matter. It can happen 100 times, and you take care of your friends, you take care of your family, and yeah, is it frustrating? For sure, it's frustrating, and it might elicit anger, and there might need to be harder conversations that transpire between me and you, Baldo, if that were the case. But um, I feel like if it was just a random someone, right? It's like, well, dude, if you're not gonna listen to me, then kick rocks. But if it's somebody that there's an investment there, then it's different for me anyway.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Just
Took
again,
the words right out of his mouth.
Like, but again, right? Just be honest, right? So it's like help them 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, great. But if it keeps happening over and over again, it's like, okay, buddy, well, this is great, cool. I like you. You're a really nice guy, but are you paying attention? Like honestly, like you paying attention? Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, well, go ahead and repeat it back to me, right? Just simple questions. Like I'm not trying to be insulting, but if you don't get it after the fourth, 6, 7, 10 time, 20th time, then
what are
honestly,
we doing
here? maybe you're actually not capable. And I'm not trying to be insulting, but maybe you don't actually have the capability to understand this or process it or whatever, right? And maybe you should go like in a different direction, right? Just I don't know, stuff like that. But I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse if it doesn't ever go anywhere, right? Then that's just a complete total waste of my time and that person's time. So
okay,
yeah.
honest. I mean, I think so. To take off another way, in that case, both of you guys said the same thing. All right. If it comes down to it, then I'm gonna tell them to kick rocks. Do you actually tell them the truth, or do you just kind of like play it off somehow, or what do you do?
You tell them the truth politely,
Yeah.
like respectfully, tell them the truth. Absolutely.
Yep.
So
I don't want to play it off and be like, oh, you're a great guy. You're not a great guy because you suck at this. I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him that exactly in those exact words, right? You be polite and professional, but like respectfully, you tell him.
So does that, like Aaron said, does it matter who it is, how you tell them? So for instance,
how you tell them?
if the three of us, if I was taking advice from you guys, and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, fine, and doing my own thing, would you guys come out and straight tell me, hey, dude, you need to, kick rocks, pound sand? Yeah.
Oh, no. So when I said like I would tell somebody to kick rocks, I'm talking like not somebody who I'm close to. I wouldn't tell like a close friend or family or somebody like that. I wouldn't tell them to kick rocks.
Really?
Right? No, I wouldn't.
Really?
No.
Because I would think that it would be the other way around. That if somebody was not close to somebody was close to you, like for instance, if you came to me and said, "Hey Brian, kick rocks," I'd be like, "All right, I can, I understand that because of the relationship we have." And it's the same with Jared. If Jared came to me and said, "Dude, you're an idiot," take a flying leap, then I would be open to that because of the relationship we have. So Go ahead.
Thank you, Baldo. That helps me for the future.
So the way I see it is like, so I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I am like loyal to people that I'm close to, like to a fault. Where sometimes it gets to the point where like I am taken advantage of, and I've seen that kind of play out in different situations throughout my life. But so I would say like, Baldo, if that was you, right, and you just kept coming back, like Jared had said, I forget how you phrased it, but for me it would be like, all right, dude, here we are, like let's have this conversation again because, because we're close, right? I'm not going to give up. Like even if it seems like it's a waste of my time or if it seems like it's a waste of your time, I wouldn't view it like that for somebody that I'm close to, but somebody that there is no like investment in, right? Like for instance, somebody at work, right? I'm in human resources, so if somebody comes to me and they're like, "Hey, I'm having this problem out on the production floor, like, what do I do?" Right? And I tell them, "Well, hey, don't put yourself in that scenario, right? Don't put yourself, try to stay away from that person, right?" And then they come back the next week and they're like, "Hey, I'm still having this problem." Like, well, did you talk to your supervisor? Did you get away from that person? No, no, no. Okay, well, do that, right? So now I've told them a second time. They come back week 3. It's like, bro, I don't want to hear it. Like, until you do what you need to do, like I've told you what you need to do, go, go handle your stuff. If you've done everything that you can do, everything that you can control, and that problem is still existing, sure, right? But if that was somebody, again, take the exact same scenario, right, and insert Baldo instead of random person, right, and you're coming to me and you're like, I might. For me, it's all about like sometimes you just have to say hard things, right, and you're way more obviously you should be way more comfortable in saying hard things to the people that you're close to, um, and I've definitely there's been opportunities in my life where I've had to do that with friends, and you know, it would just be like, Brian, like, dude, we've talked about this now 4 weeks in a row, and you're not doing anything about it. Like, what's the deal, right? And you just kind of kick it to the next level, and but I would do that with somebody that I'm comfortable with versus like some random person. Like, hey, you're not handling your stuff, so like, I wash my hands of this. Get out.
Yeah, it's far, far, far more disrespectful to tell people lies just to make them comfortable than it is to tell them the truth and make them uncomfortable. Because and I was like, I like to as publicly as I can, like as often as I can, being like, yeah, if I'm doing something wrong, or if I suck, or this or that, or whatever, then tell me, right? Call me out on it, because I don't want to go around and be like, hey man, I'm going to be truthful to all of you, but I don't want you to be truthful to me. No, 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 no. Like, tell me. And then it's on me, right? Like it's on me. It's on the person to like humble yourself or whatever and be like, okay, I got you. Like, I need to learn this or that. Or be super prideful and be like, no, 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 I got it. Like, screw all of you, right? And become like super, super defensive. Like, no, that's on you. That's your problem. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, yeah, it's much better just to tell people the truth, just be honest, but be, polite about it. You don't have to be, jerk about it.
It's hard to do sometimes.
Then it is. Then it is to tell people. Obviously, it's a lot. It's like, oh man, like I don't want to say this to Stu, or I don't want to say this to like my mom, or I don't want to say this to my sister because it's gonna create a situation. It's gonna be uncomfortable for me. It's gonna be uncomfortable for them. But it's like, no, just politely be like, hey, I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is just just me being honest, because I don't want to continually say everything's fine when it's not. I have situations like that within my own family. Oh, everything's just fine. It's not though. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Everything's not fine, and it needs to be fixed. And I'm trying. And if you're not, then that's on you. Like, I made the effort, or I put forth, some action to try and resolve something, but you didn't. And that's on you. But I can lay my head down on my pillow at night being like, I'm good. My conscience is clear.
I think that's the important part. Not that we do everything right, but the fact that we treat people like people, like and I think that's the thing that I obviously respect about you guys, because I mean, I'm like Aaron said, I'm 50 years older than both of you. So, but that doesn't mean that I can't learn from you. I can't. I respect you guys, and so I think it's the way that everything should work, and yet most of the time it doesn't.
Yep.
Most of the time we pussyfoot around stuff, and we just we screw things up. So and Jared, if you're honest with everybody, I commend you, man, because it's tough. That is tough to do. It is, it's just.
And I'm not gonna say. I mean, I won't say. Oh yeah, it's always no. I slip up and I fall short of that all the time. But that's at least something that I like. That's something that I strive for.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, then it's like, okay, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here, like, not striving for anything. It's like, no, I'm going to at least strive to be honest. I'm not going to say that I don't fall short. I do all the time, but at least try and meet that. Like, hey, I'm going to be
right.
Be honest. Exactly right. Let's be truthful, because it like keeps my conscience clear, and I mean, it helps everyone out way more than it does to be like, no, I'm just going to be dishonest with you so you're comfortable.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to be comfortable. If you're comfortable, then what are you doing? Then you're
not
just
growing.
stagnant.
That's right.
You're not growing.
That's right.
That's right.
Now I'm getting fired up.
Like get uncomfortable like every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ooh, come on.
And I'm not going to be like, oh man,
dude,
like I mean,
there's a sermon in there, man.
I can't think of what I'm trying to think of right now, but I would rather be truthful and hurt you than lie to you and not.
Well, and I think what it does is it doesn't do anything for the person that you're lying to, or protecting, quote unquote. So I have to admit to you guys, when I was first married, I've been married for 38 years. When I first got married, I protected Mare from stuff by not telling her everything, and so it got me in a lot of trouble.
It's definitely a balance. It's a balancing thing.
It is
100% a balancing thing.
And I think that's the thing that we look at it and we say, well, we're protecting him, or we don't want to hurt him, or whatever. Well, it's like you said, Jared. When I don't want to hurt them, I'm hurting them more than if I just tell them the truth straight up. So
yeah,
great point. Great point.
Stewie did that to me. Did that to me a while ago about situation we had in both of our lives. I think you know what I'm talking about. This was a while ago, where he told me, the truth, and wasn't cool, but I was like, you know what, worked out for the best, because it's like I needed to know, and
this honestly,
I can't say it on the pod, but I think you know what I'm talking about. But it was like, hey man, like this is, I just want to let you know, like this is the truth. This is what happened. And it was,
yeah,
but it was good. Just be like, you need to know the truth. Like, oh man, I want to keep it comfortable, and I don't want to hurt you, or this or that. It's like, no, like the truth sucks all the time. The truth sucks daily. Every single day the truth sucks. But you just have to deal with it. You have to solve whatever you need to solve and move on, move forward. Stop trying to be, come on. Look at cancel culture nowadays, right? It's like, oh man, like we got to cancel everything, right? So you don't ever have to deal with the truth. No, like the truth was terrible over here, and it was great over here, and it was terrible over here, and it was great over here. Okay, great. Let's move on. You don't have to live in that terrible truth, but let's resolve it or whatever and move forward.
Yeah.
Simple as that, right?
Like Jared and I are on the same page there. So when Jared says like he tries to be honest with people, like I'm the same way. And I've felt that way for a long, long time. Like there's been so many times where I've had like hard conversations with, my brother or friends or whatever, right? And where hard things just have to be said. And I think that's like one of the issues that we're seeing like in our culture today is like, I'm not trying to make this like a gender issue, but like as men, right? Like we have to take care of our families, right? And sometimes that involves saying hard things to our children. We have to, but at the same time, right, we have to foster relationships with our friends and with our wives, and sometimes that involves saying hard things to our spouses or our friends, something that they might not want to hear in that moment. And so, Jared, I'm not entirely sure what you're referencing there. Maybe we can talk about it after. This is going to sound really dumb, but was
2018?
What time? What day and what time was it, Jared?
We'll talk about it after. But regardless,
just think of 2018. Simple as that. Come on. I can't talk about it on the pod. You should know. You should know. You were honest with me about something.
Right. Okay.
Happened.
Yes. Okay. Got it. Copy that. But hearing him say that, like that's the reason why we do it, right? Because like he's sitting here and he's saying like, hey, I didn't like it in the moment, but it needed to be said, and it was said, and it's honestly, it's all about, and Mary said this in a message, and Mary, I really appreciate what you said. She said, I love how you guys are open to learning from one another, speaks to your humbleness and wisdom. I am impressed. Like, as men, we have to be humble, right? We have to give ourselves the opportunity when a brother does come to you and bring something to you, out of respect, out of love, right? It's not always an attack. It can be an attack, but it's not always an attack. It's an opportunity for growth. And so if your first line of defense all the time is like, hey, I'm being attacked, that's a you problem. You need to deal with that. That's a pride issue. We have to take it for what it is, take it as an opportunity to like learn and grow from. And ultimately, when you do that, like you're going to respect that person so much more because they went to the hard place, because they said the hard things. And when Alex and I were doing our counseling job, there was times where we were like driving to like a family's home and we're like, who's taking the reins today? Because like today we need to have a hard conversation and it's not going to be fun, right? We know that maybe mom or dad is going to respond a certain way or child is going to respond a certain way, and it's going to be really tough. But at the same time, we were doing that job, right? We're counselors because we wanted to see people, we wanted to see their lives. But at the same time, sorry, my video became unmuted over here, but we wanted to see people, their lives change and improve for, the better, and they're not going to if you're not willing to go there with people that you care about. And
Right.
so
well, I think one of the big things too, you guys both mentioned it, is that a lot of this has to do with relationship.
yeah.
If we don't have a relationship, you're not going to be able to say the hard things to me.
Right.
And you may be able to say them, but I'm not going to accept them because I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know who
Yep.
I am. So when it comes to relationship, that's where you can say the hard things. That's where you influence people. Mare and I have been facilitating Marriage Matters now for the last like 11 years, 10 years, something like that. And we've had couples that we've actually looked at each other and said, they don't get it. They don't get it, And we have relationship with them, and yet the things that we try and help them with, they're like, I don't want to change. I like who I am, and so I'm not going to change, And that's where my question was really born out of earlier, in that, okay, if you've got somebody coming to you and you're giving them advice and helping them, trying to help them, and they don't do it, what do you do? I mean, sometimes you just have to walk away from it.
Yeah.
And I think that's almost harder than being in the situation and being frustrated with it, because nobody wants to see anybody in pain, but yet, it happens.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting, the concepts that, and Aaron, it's funny that you mentioned, because we're guys, we think that we have it all under control,
Yeah.
and
It's
we know it
laughable.
all that kind of stuff, But yet, just like Jared said, Aaron, you smacked me between the eyes in 2018, and it hurt. It hurt like a lot of things, but but I'm better off for it. So
Right.
it's just cool. Just
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, and you can look back at some of those moments in your life and like they're like defining moments sometimes, right?
Yep.
Where it's like
Yep.
you really turn the page, so to speak, and you're like, you've been doing things a certain way, but when somebody finally had the
Cojones.
the cojones, yes, that's what I was gonna say, but then I was like, maybe I shouldn't say it. But when they do that, and you're like, especially when it's somebody like you said, Brian, that you have a relationship with, because I'm probably the same way. If I don't know you, or if I feel like you don't know me, I'll listen to you, but I'm not hearing you.
Right.
But like, I think like Jared, you, Brian, Nikki B, whenever he finally gets back, but like, you guys are, three people right off the top of my head. They're like 100%. If you're like, hey, dude, we need to talk, I'm gonna listen, right? I'm gonna hear you, and I'm most likely gonna try to do what I can to respond because you're probably not wrong, right? But if it's somebody at work, like I said, probably kick rocks, but that stuff definitely matters, and then it ultimately how do we respond to it? Yeah, that's good.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can't grow from. I mean, you have to humble yourself. You have to be like, "Yep, I'm wrong," or "Yep, I did that wrong," or you have to humble yourself. You have to be teachable. You have to want to be teachable. You have to want to learn. Otherwise, it's just you're gonna be in this protected circle, which in today's society, everybody wants to be right in their protected little bubble. And never, I was like, but you're perfect the way you are.
Yeah.
So what does that? I mean, what does that mean? To quote, Jordan Peterson. So what does that say about like who you want to become? If you're perfect the way you are, then who do you want to become? Right? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, humble yourself. Like, yeah, I did this and I sucked at it, and I'm sorry. I'm human. Like, I made a mistake. My bad. I'm gonna try and not do that again. Right? Like, stuff like that. Just be honest. Just be honest.
And I think
it's really that simple.
Too, yeah, it is. It is very true, Jared. Very true. But I think the one thing that the reason that we shy away from a lot of it is because it's painful. Growth is painful. Nobody likes to change.
I don't seek out conflict.
That's exactly right.
I don't really like conflict, to be honest. But I mean, as a man, like, I mean, any man, like, if you're gonna have to deal with it,
right? Right.
Well, day, and you should embrace it because it's a learning opportunity. So,
and that's the with my relationship with Christ. He allows those things to happen in my life for a reason. If I don't experience the pain and the discomfort, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to grow.
Are you going to ever have any courage if you don't like, ever seek, opportunities or like, no,
right.
and it's just too bad because like you're given, moments, you're given opportunities, and if you don't take them, then where are you going? You're not going anywhere. And then I don't want to hear anybody ever complain if you don't ever take opportunities, right? And me and Stu talk about this all the time. It's like you have all these opportunities in front of you, you never take them, but then over here I'm just complaining all the time about it. It's like, whoa, wait a second.
Right.
It's like, it's there for you. You don't take them. I don't want to hear you complain about anything ever. Like, it's
doing all right over there, Baldo.
I keep hitting it.
So I would compare it, Jared, to you going to the gym.
Yeah, I was going to draw the same line. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly why I don't go to the gym.
But if you make up in your mind, right? If you say like, "Hey, I wanna, be able to deadlift, this many pounds by the end of the year," and then all you do is come home from work every day and sit on your couch, eat Cheez-Its, and watch movies, you're not going to be challenged and you're not going to grow. You're not going to get to that goal. So,
hey, I don't ride. You're right, exactly. I don't ride an electric bike as much as you do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's
oh,
cool.
He said it.
You go and you go ham on that electric bike. That's cool. I don't do that. Obviously, I do. There's other things, but yeah.
Oh, dude, he went there. Oh, that's funny.
Jared, I would challenge you. I bet you. I would challenge you to ride 25, 30 miles on an electric bike.
I know. And honestly, I know. I would be. You'd probably kick my butt. You probably.
Oh,
well,
dude.
maybe.
That
I don't
is so funny.
Let's see, but.
Oh, yeah, I love that just happened.
Too funny.
That's good. Well, gentlemen, that was good. We went from conspiracy theories to talking about food that we can't say no to a pretty good conversation there. So
yeah, on our next pod, I'm gonna buy a hoodie that says LeBron is the GOAT, and then it'll be like, Jared is for sure a conspiracy theorist.
Let's be honest, you're not going to be here next week.
Next week, I'll be working next
You'll
Thursday.
Be working. So.
And if Ferry's in the chat, Ferry will be like, yep, Jared will be working next Thursday.
Yep.
You're right.
I do want to, so I don't want to ignore what Mike said. Mike said sometimes you really have to bite your tongue. You have no idea how many times people tell me they're going to quit every week. And in my head, I'm thinking, please do, but I can't say it. That is the absolute truth.
That's true. That's for that balancing act, for that balance.
There are many times where I hear things in human resources, and I'm like, go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. So okay, Aaron, have you ever said that to somebody? You know, have you ever said?
So yes. There have been a couple people that like I've worked with that I got somewhat close to, right? And when I hear them complain, I'm like, well, then what are you doing here?
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
if it's so bad, if it's as bad as you say it is, then leave.
So I guess
But you're not
that really
leaving.
that
So
where the
Jared,
whole just be honest and the truth is always the right, which it is. But I guess it's kind of like, so if somebody comes in, right, and they're jibber jabbering, you're kind of sitting there rolling your eyes like, okay, I got to bite my tongue, this and that, right? I guess technically you're not being dishonest. You know what I'm saying? Because you're listening to them and it's like on their way. I guess it kind of where that balancing thing comes in. It's like, okay, honesty is always the best policy, but is my opinion always the best policy? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a balance.
So
Balancing
Jared,
act for sure.
so you heard that statement that Aaron just made. So just go ahead and quit. How did it make you feel when he told you that?
When Stu told me that, it did make me feel good. It did make me feel good. I told him I was going to quit, and Stu's like, "No."
Listen, look.
No, everybody, that actually didn't happen.
I did that right.
The
last job that I was at, I was unhappy. Right, I felt like I was not treated fairly. So what did I do? I didn't go to work every day for 5 years and just complain about it all the time.
No,
I quit and I found a new job. Baldo referred me to this place, and now I work there. So, like, if you're that unhappy, if it's really as bad as as you say it is, then do something about it. Right, leave.
Right.
That's like
otherwise, respectfully, shut up. And stop complaining. Respectfully.
Oh, dude. Right, Mike Ferry?
That is
right, Ferry?
I have to tell you guys that is one of my pet peeves. You know, when somebody says, I don't want to hurt you, but I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
I don't want to hurt you. Basically, I'm going to brace you for I'm going to hurt you, or I'm going to stab you in the back.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt you, Byron. I just
want to
let you know I'm going to stab you in the back.
But you kind of suck a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's like that's I don't like that. I don't want to hurt you. Okay, let's stop beating around the bush, dude. What you're saying is you want to hurt me, but you want to keep me on the whole friend level, right? Like, I don't want to hurt you, man. I just want to let you know I'm going to hurt you.
Oh my.
Too funny.
That's really dumb.
All right.
That's really dumb.
Well, it has been an hour and 32 minutes. We're 32 minutes over our time, but that's okay because we had a great time. So, but it is that time to say goodbye. There are still 4 people watching, so to whoever is still here, thank you guys very much. We appreciate you a ton. We had a lot of interactions in the chat tonight. There was a couple comments that I don't think we got to, so real quick. Kyle said one of his weaknesses is gummy candy. Does any of you guys eat those Haribo gummy Coca-Cola bottles? They are delicious. That's a weak.
Wax ones.
No, they're gummy. Yeah, yeah, they're gummy. They're delicious.
So real quick, this hasn't been a long time, right? Like 10 plus years. But I don't know if I can get them over here. But man, oh man, used to go to this water park in California, okay, in the summer. Oh man, and they would sell a nice sizable bag of, I believe it was King sour gummy worms. Man, that is something that I cannot, and probably still to this day, if I found them, will not say no to. Couldn't say no to them. Probably still can't say no to them. Is a big bag of King
better bring some
sour
insulin.
gummy worms. Because oh man,
that's why you're diabetic.
Those things, Mary Brenson, were banging. I mean, those things were banging. Wow, man, those things were bad. And those were my bad type 1 diabetic days. But you know what?
Doing much better now.
I still might have a few of those. If I got King sour gum worms. Yes, they are.
Okay.
Well, were those things good, man?
Yeah.
Alexa threw in there extra snuggles with Ellie. That's true. She'll sit in Ellie's room for like 3 hours every night, putting her to bed because she can't just drop her in her bed. Mom of the year. Carol, my grandma, says don't knock those ketchup sandwiches till you try them. Delicious. And I think we. And then Alexa also said, I'm hoping Aaron said Rutter's iced tea. That's also a good one. Cheers to that. Am I right? I think we got it.
Sweetened or unsweetened, Aaron?
Sweetened.
Definitely sweetened, Brian.
What about, like 50-50. You guys like
Ooh,
the
no.
No, you don't like Arnold iced tea with
Oh,
lemonade?
I thought you meant like half sweet, half unsweet. No. Yeah. Like a nice twisted tea with
Aaron,
like a
hold on a
like.
second, dude. Hold on a second.
Go right ahead.
I'm gonna
Have you ever
say,
been to Chick-fil-A? They have
yes.
half sweet, half unsweet, and it's disgusting.
So wouldn't it just be sweet?
It's half sweet
How can it be half sweet?
because it's
If
not
something's
fully
got-
sweet.
If there's a drop of sweeten syrup
I'm just
Exactly.
telling
in
you.
there,
I'm
then
just
it's
telling you.
sweetened.
Well, then you need to
Right.
call the CEO of Chick-fil-A and talk to him about how he brands his half sweet, half unsweet
They
iced
should
tea.
just name it 50%, or they should just name it.
It's sweet
They
tea.
should just
Well,
they should
it's
just name
weekly.
tea.
It's weak sweet tea.
diluted sweet tea.
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess.
Well, we'll call it that. But
Because that really
disgusting.
cooks my chicken.
But yes, Brian, a good twisted tea with the lemonade and the iced tea. I can. Yep. Especially in the summertime when it's nice and hot outside. Oh, you betcha.
You bet your
You
sweet
betcha.
pippy.
Bet your sweet pippy. Kyle said he's
freaking
going to bring you
chickens.
some gummy Coca-Cola bottles tomorrow for you to try.
Okay. All right.
They're delicious.
Well, I don't. Back in the day, they were wax. You guys remember the wax?
Oh yes.
Huh?
Yep.
Jared,
you
you
bite
remember
the
those?
top off and you drink the little juice out of
Yep.
it. Yep.
Yep. So,
And then you chewed on the wax for some reason.
Jared, don't tell me they didn't have them in California, man. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know.
Bet your
I don't
freaking
know.
chickens I'm going to find some of those too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow,
Sorry.
what a time to be alive.
Yeah, that's the West Coast for you.
But alrighty. Well, again, thank you guys very much. Sorry, I did want to just jump in there. I didn't want anybody to think we were ignoring them, but we appreciate you all very much. We will be back next Thursday, same time, 8:00 p.m. Possibly, definitely Baldo, as long as he's available. Possibly Nikki B, depending on what's going on. Possibly my brother Kyle. Who knows? One thing is for certain: Stewie and Baldo will be here.
Yeah, that is for certain. That's for certain. I'm sorry, I have a work schedule, and unfortunately,
we're not upset with you.
That conflicts with the pod, so I will not be here on Thursday.
You owe no apologies.
But I know you guys
we
will
knew
knock it out of the park.
We knew that this was how it was going to go because of your work schedule, and that's fine.
Jared, so I'm being completely honest with you here.
Yes.
We missed you when you were not
Perfect.
here.
Yep.
I know you guys do. I know you guys do. Oh, believe you me, I miss being here when I can't be here. Right, Stewie?
That's right. That's right. So from your friendly HR rep, just remember to always show up to work on time, and don't be on your phone when you're at work. Right, Jared? Next Thursday,
sure.
Jared will not be on his phone when he's at work.
I will not be on my phone for those 12 hours. You betcha. I will just be staring at the clock.
That's right. Mike Ferry, you heard that? That is
That's
that
right.
is the truth.
Mike Ferry, he knows. He knows. I am never on my phone.
He is always hitting the pads and just never on his phone.
Do you spend time down in shipping anymore, Jared?
Anymore. I do not. I do not.
No, our friend left. We had a friend that worked down there, and we would go sit down there for a couple hours every night and just talk to him.
Yeah, about 2-3 hours. We go there after break, and then we'd be like, "Oh man, it's break time again."
You know, it's funny thing is about that, you guys. I think that is actually the first time that I ever met Jared.
No, it was.
I think it was.
Yeah, because then you were talking about hooking him up with your daughter.
Yep. Sorry, Brian, but nope.
So yes, but
sorry, Brian.
How long did you work there before we met, Jared? I got you the job.
Yeah,
you did give me the job. You did give me the job.
You probably got fully paid out for the referral bonus before you even met him.
Yeah. I don't know when we went down there, Stu. When was that? Because this
it would have been.
That was September 2020, something like that.
No, I started in. Well, yeah, because I went to crew.
July.
I went to crew in September. So and you started in March. So
yeah,
it would have been over half a year.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Those are some good times, Brian. That was great. Hey, happy to meet you. You're Nick Brinson's dad. Oh, you got me this job. How'd that referral bonus? Oh, it was great.
Never did share it with us, did he? Nope.
Yeah, yep. You never gave me a piece of it, did you, Brian?
Nope.
That's too bad.
Not.
Although I don't blame you at all, because I wouldn't have done it either. If it was anybody else, I would have told him, well, why don't you refer a friend, and then you can get some money too.
There you go.
I just need more friends over here so I can refer them.
Yeah, you do. You need to find more friends that know how to golf and stop making it my responsibility to fill our scramble tournaments all the time.
I'll just text Austin one of these days. Hey man, I know we haven't spoken in like 2 decades. I really need you in this 4-man scramble tournament we got going on here
down in here at South Central Pennsylvania.
But
we're playing Honey Run.
Oh man. Austin's gonna be like, yeah, sorry, dude, I can't. I got this tournament coming up here.
I gotta go.
Masters. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. I got you. You gotta go caddy for my boy Xander. That's all right. Yep.
All right, we're out of here. Thank you guys very much. We will see you next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Stay frosty.